What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel. Happy Mother's Day. I hope you guys are enjoying your day. So I'm back with another really colorful set. I did some croc print, fruit and flowers, and it's all like super bright and neon. I love the way these turned out. So I'm just going to be using what I have today. I'm not going to be like reviewing any products or anything. Everything I am using in the video will be linked in the description box if you are interested. But yeah, I'm going to be doing an acrylic set. This set was actually inspired by Raw Nail Sao, I think that's how you say it, on Instagram. She did a really cute set like this, so I was really inspired by it because it was like super colorful and I loved it so much. So yeah, I wanted to do like my own version of it. So yeah, like I said, this is an acrylic set. I dehydrated off camera with some isopropyl alcohol, and I primed my nails with 2 coats of the Savalan primer. And I have this color from Valentino Beauty Pure. It's called a Lustrous Pink. It's a cover pink shade with some shimmer in it. So I lightly brushed it over the nails that I'm going to be putting the fruit on because I wanted a little bit of shimmer like in the background of the fruit, but I still wanted a glassy look. So I just took a small wet bead of acrylic and kind of brushed it over the nail, and then it kind of gives you that look. So I'm using these cute little fruit Fimo shapes. I'm going to be putting all different kinds of fruits on these nails, filling up the entire nail. These nails were really hard to encapsulate because there was so many fruits in them. I ended up having to use like quite a lot of clear acrylic, but when I filed them, the shape came back and everything like that. But yeah, it was a lot of encapsulating because these are like a lot thicker than glitter. You know, you want to just make sure they're on the nail really good, like flat and not poking up or anything. I'm using clear acrylic to apply them to the nail and pick them up. And for the areas where there's like gaps later on, I end up taking some scissors and cutting some of them in half and like filling in the gaps because I was having trouble like filling the entire nail with the whole pieces. So I ended up having to cut some of them, and that worked out really good because it helped fill in the really small gaps on a lot of the nails. And I ended up spilling some monomer on my arm, and I got a little bit of a rash on my arm, like I broke out in hives. So if you see that in the video, try to ignore that because yeah, I guess I had like an allergic reaction to it. I don't normally have an allergic reaction to my monomer, but I think because I spilt it on my skin and didn't wipe it off in time because I didn't want to like mess up the video, I just wiped it off really quick, but not all the way. It kind of like irritated my skin. I have like sensitive skin, so I did put some cream on it and it went away. But yeah, if you see that on the video, that's what that is. I ended up like spilling a whole thing of a whole dabbing dish of monomer all over myself and on my pants and everything. But I just kept like going in the video because I didn't want to like jump and mess up the video. But yeah, as you can see in this area, I tried to fit like one of the whole pieces of fruit, but it was kind of like going off the side of the nail and I was afraid I was gonna like file it off. So what I'm doing is applying as many of the whole pieces of fruit onto the nail first, and then I'm gonna grab like some scissors and then just like cut some of the pieces in half and fill in those areas so that the entire nail can be filled with the fruit. As you can see, I'm taking my scissors and picking up some of the fruit pieces and cutting them right down the middle, so it looks like sliced fruit. And I feel like putting these in like the negative spaces on the nail kind of gives it a more realistic look because not all fruit is like whole. If you slice them, you get slices. So as you can see, it fits in there perfectly. And there's also a little tiny gap on the other nail that I could not fit anything in. So I'm going to be putting a orange slice up there as well. It was hard to encapsulate the fruits like right up by the cuticle area. Normally I don't put them that high for that reason, because sometimes you accidentally end up filing them off. So it was a little bit of a challenge, but I was determined to fit like all these fruits in the nail because yeah, I thought it was cute like this. For the next two nails, I'm going to be using Valentino Beauty Pure Lustrous Pink and applying that color to the entire nail. These two nails are going to be the French nails, so this is basically going to be like the nail bed color for the French nails. So I'm going to just apply this to these nails, and I will be encapsulating these later on when I encapsulate the fruit, just to build them up a little bit more. With just this layer, it's not enough. I needed more acrylic to make the nails like a little stronger. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and encapsulate with Mia Secret Clear Acrylic. Like I mentioned earlier, the nails with the fruit needed a little bit more acrylic because these Fimo shapes are a lot thicker than glitter, and you want to make sure that they're fully covered with acrylic before you go ahead and file, because if you end up filing through some of them, you'll be able to see that in your end result. It will like stand out. So you might have to add in tiny little beads of acrylic here and there to make sure that the fruits are fully encapsulated. Sometimes the acrylic doesn't seep in good enough, so you have to go back and add small beads, especially with a full nail of fruit like this. I don't think I've done a nail with this many fruits in it, especially up by the cuticle area. It was so hard to encapsulate it, like try to get the acrylic behind the cuticle with those thick like pieces of Fimo shapes. It was like really difficult for me for some reason. So I was kind of like adding in small beads here and there. I was just going ahead and getting some more monomer here. But yeah, you want to make sure they're fully covered, and you can always go in and file your nails afterwards if they're really thick. So don't really worry about how much acrylic there is as long as they're fully covered, because as you could see, the nails are a little bit thick, but I do end up filing them down. But it's good that all of the shapes did get covered, because I didn't end up filing off any of the Fimo shapes. And I did find that working with the acrylic a little bit wetter does help the acrylic like seep into the areas where the fruits are and go over it a lot easier rather than working with drier beads. So I usually do my 3 bead method, as most of you guys know. I start building up the free edge, and then I use the next 2 beads to build up my apex. So it's kind of like a 3 bead method, and then I kind of look at the nail to see if I need to add in any acrylic, and that's what I usually do. I will be encapsulating the 2 nude nails as well. Like I said before, they're kind of thin, so I'm going to use the clear to build up the structure. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and start by debulking my nails. I'm going to be using the new drill that I got from Melody Susie, the Jade nail drill. I love this nail drill. I reviewed it in my last pedicure video. It works really good, and I love how small it is. It's like the smallest one on the market, but it's really powerful. It goes all the way up to 30,000 RPMs, but it's nice to have something small and compact where it doesn't take up like a lot of space. So yeah, that's why I like it so much. So I'm also using it with my ceramic drill bit that I use in like every video. This one is also from the drill bit set that I like to use, which I do have linked in my Amazon store. But yeah, I'm just going around and debulking first, and then I'm going to go ahead and do my shaping afterwards. So with these, I'm starting around the cuticle to seal around the cuticle area, and then just kind of like filing over the rest of the nail. I'm going side to side with my drill. So when I turn my nail to the side, you can see I have a little hill that's my apex, and I have a free edge. I have some thickness on the free edge. It should get like thinner towards the free edge, but you should have some thickness there, so that you have structure to your nails so they don't break, obviously. And when you look down the barrel of your nail, you're going to want to have the side walls to be the thinnest part of your nail. And then also make sure you clean underneath the nails with your drill bit. I really like this drill bit because it gets really good around the cuticle area without me having to go in with a cuticle bit. I used to go in with a cuticle bit, but ever since I've been using this one, it's really easy for me to get behind the cuticle area. And I'm so glad I didn't fall off any of those little Fimo shapes up by the cuticle, because I really thought I was going to, like trying to seal. You just have to get like right behind it, and then slowly file over the rest of the nail, and just keep checking to make sure you don't file too much. Then I'm going to take my hand file and shape up the nails really quick. So I'm doing a long tapered square for this set. So I'm taking the bulk off of the sides first by holding my file straight and filing up the sides. And then to taper in the tip, I hold my file at an angle and file in towards the tip of the nail. And depending how like wide you want the tip of your nail to be, you would just keep filing. If you wanted more of a coffin, you would just file in more. But like I said, I'm doing a tapered square, so I'm only doing it a few times. I needed the shape to be a little bit wider, especially for these fruit nails, so that's why I'm doing them like this. And to file the free edge, I just hold the file at an angle, but I file straight across. So you want to make sure you're filing straight so they come out straight, and make sure you switch sides and alternate sides frequently while you're filing to avoid like taking off too much product on one side. And then always make sure you buff the nails to smooth them and smooth out any scratches after you're done. So now I'm going to go ahead and start painting the French on the nails. I'm using the shade White Addict from Nail Reserve LA. So I'm just kind of outlining first how I want the French. That's usually how I do it. I'm using my Savlon detail brush in the size 3. It comes with that little brush set that I have in my Amazon store. But yeah, I usually start by doing a rough outline of where I want the French. I'm dragging the corners all the way up to the cuticle area because I really like the way that looks lately. So I'm doing that and then kind of filling in the tip, and then I go back in with the brush and kind of redefine the smile line. I did have to go in with a second coat of the white on these because as you could see with one, it wasn't pigmented enough. You could see a little bit of streaks. So that's what I basically do, and I'm gonna go ahead and cure each one and then go in with a second coat.
Ringy. Greeny.
Now I'm going to go ahead and do the croc print design. I use blooming gel to do this. So on this nail, I'm using 3 different colors. I'm using a pink from Nail Reserve LA called Pinky Pink. I'm also using an orange from Nail Reserve LA called Juicy Mango, and then a yellow from Nail Reserve called Electric Yellow. So you kind of want to work fast to avoid some of the colors blooming too fast and like merging into each other, because you still want to be able to kind of see the croc print. So I usually start in the middle and then do the sides. You want to go all the way up the sides of the smile line, and if you do get a little bit that seeps over onto the nail bed area, you could remove it with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol before you cure. But yeah, you just want to wait for a couple seconds and then go ahead and pop your finger in the lamp to cure, and then you get that like blooming croc print look. On this nail, I'm going to be using a couple of different colors. I have this green shade from Madam Glam. It's called Green Highlighter, so I'm using that for the center, and then on the sides I have this purple shade that I mixed with some of the white. It's from Beetles, one of their gel polish set. It's called A902. I just mix it with a little bit of white to make it a little bit lighter, and then I'm doing that on one of the sides, and I'm also using that same Pinky Pink from Nail Reserve.
Greeny.
Then I'm going to go ahead and finish up by adding some bling to the nails. I'm going to be using some McCart rhinestone gel and top coat to apply my stones. So I'm going to be doing a flower and some bling around the smile line on this nail. I'm going to be using some flowers and bling around the cuticle area on the 2 fruit nails, and on the ring finger I'm going to be doing a little cluster of flowers, hearts, pearls, and AB rhinestones. Also like flowers in all different colors. I think it came out so cute. I love these nails so much. I don't even want to take them off. I love how colorful they are. Like, they really get me in the mood for like summertime too, honestly. Yeah, I hope you guys like this set. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to leave me a like before you leave. I would really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new and hit the bell so you get notified when I upload a video. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok if you're not already. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye. Love you guys.
Greeny. Greeny. Greeny.